it involves Megan Rapinoe. Um, and before I really get going further, I think I should probably just go ahead and let her say, share, like I'm going to share what she had said, um, literally just a few days ago as a result of her injury. So let's look at that here.
We can just speed this up, but yeah, I thought about it a little bit. I mean, I'm not a religious person or anything. And if there was a God, like this is proof that there isn't. This is up. So yeah, it's just because like 6 minutes in, eat my Achilles. I mean, what the and this is
She says, if there is a God, this is proof there isn't because of an injury that she received on the soccer field that may subsequently end her career. Which, by the way, I mean, just call a spade, is a very storied career. It's very commendable things she was able to accomplish, which is actually part of this, which I think is interesting. But I think it's really important to acknowledge and understand that Megan Rapinoe is essentially just trying to troll anybody that believes in God, anybody religious that believes in a higher power of sorts. Because if her career ended how she wanted it to, right, like just, which wouldn't involve an injury, I guess, which would just be on her terms completely, I don't see how that would cause her to believe in God, right? I mean, she said, I'm not a religious person. So really, she just outed herself as just saying, I want to take a second to take a shot at anybody who's religious, which I would hope that a lot of her fans aren't religious because that would be really hard as a fan who is religious to see that. That'd be really frustrating to for her to just basically say, I don't care what you believe is cuckoo nonsense, and here's why, which is the most reductionist argument you could ever make when it comes to saying, oh, there must not be a God because I didn't get my way. But one thing I wanted to point out too, and there's a few things, is that she's clearly saying right then too that she is entitled to not have her career end by an injury, which there are a lot of amazing sports careers that have ended by injury. Just a few, just to name a few: Bill Walton, Gale Sayers, Sandy Koufax, Pete Maravich, Bo Jackson. And then I even looked further. I was like, well, let's see. Have there been female soccer players whose careers have ended from injury? And there were a couple. One in particular stands out, and that's Cindy Parlow Cone. She was a midfielder, won the World Cup in 1999, and had to end her career early because of concussions. She's now like the president of the International Soccer Federation or something like that. Um, and what I, as I was just kind of looking into this very lightly, one thing that I thought was interesting too was the fact that there's studies out there that have actually shown apparently that female soccer players specifically are at higher risk for career-ending ACL injuries. Specifically, the Journal of Sports Rehabilitation: 30% of female footballers terminate their careers due to injury. A retrospective study among former Polish players. So they were taking specifically soccer players, women soccer players or footballers in Poland, and comparing and seeing that women are at more risk, which Megan Rapinoe, of all people, would like to believe that they're the exact same as men, right? That the injuries, if that's the case, then the injuries should be equal as well. Anyway, that's a little interesting side note. But I just, as I was kind of reflecting on this, I was thinking, that's got to be a tough place to live. And I mean, inside your own head. Um, Megan Rapinoe clearly thinks she's entitled to have her life be a certain way. Now, she's worked very hard to accomplish a lot of amazing things. In fact, she was a World Cup winner in 2015 and 2019. She won the gold in 2012, Player of the Week in the National Women's Soccer League many times. She won the Golden Ball and the Golden Boot, which I think the Golden Ball is one of those is the best player in 2019 for the World Cup. and the other one is like the top scorer. She got them both. She also got the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Biden. So I don't even know what it takes to get that, but whatever, she got it. So, and that's just, I mean, I'm mentioning like less than 10% of things that she's accomplished, just giving a few of the highlights. But that's not good enough, right? To indicate to her that there could be a God because she's been able to do this. Now, granted, she's thinking, well, no one did this for me. I did it for myself. And that's all where this ties together. It's the hubris involved here to think that um, I want my life to be lived a certain way, and I want me to be able to do certain things. And if anyone were to say otherwise, then that proves that there can't be a God. But if there is a God, he would let me do things the way I want to do them. Like I said, not only is it reductionist, it's kind of a logical fallacy anyway. Doesn't even really make a whole lot of sense from her end. But I did want to contrast it with something else that has been thrown out there that I thought was kind of nice. And that's what you see in these situations. You see this major contrast between, people that are very godless and like to tout that and try and troll others or make others feel stupid for believing in a God. And then you get a lot of beautiful, God fearing, God loving people out there who come in support of religion. So I'm going to show you here. This is David Pollock, um, who, let me make sure I'm sharing this right. David Pollock played, I believe, linebacker at the University of Georgia. This would have been maybe sometime in the early 2000s. Um, and he is now currently a commentator at ESPN. And this is what David Pollock had to say.
Why do you say that the day you broke your neck's the best day of your life?
The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. And the peace that comes with being still and knowing that he is God, the peace that comes with knowing he's in control. When you lose everything that you were pursuing, listen, from when I was 6 years old, that's what I wanted. Like, that's what I was going to go get. And when you lose that in a snap, where are we going next? I don't know. No clue, no degree. Okay, now what are you going to do? Do you have faith? Are you going to trust me? Yeah, I am. So you look back now, like I'm a better dad. I'm a better husband, a better follower. Like everything about my life is better because of.
Such a beautiful sentiment there that he shared that I loved. Now, he didn't share that specifically. Well, he shared the video in response to what Megan Rapinoe had said, but I believe that was some podcast he was doing a while ago, well before Megan Rapinoe came out with this nonsense. But I love that. That is articulated and summed up perfectly. Is that when we have these humbling moments, it's an opportunity to better ourselves in so many other ways. He said, I'm a better dad, I'm a better husband. And I'm sure he's better at his profession because of it. And he really put his time and efforts into other things, and through that, really broadened his horizons. Joel Klatt, who's another sports commentator, does college sports for Fox Sports, I believe, replied to that what David Pollock had posted. And what's kind of cool is that these are, I mean, technically rival commentators, right? One from ESPN, the other from Fox Sports. Joel Klatt says, he already won, he being God. He took our place, or specifically, I believe he's talking about Christ here. He already won. He took our place so that we can rest in his peace, knowing that regardless what we face on this earth, our place is set in the future. Another beautiful sentiment being shared. So that's what we're going to start seeing, right? More and more, we're going to start seeing people say, like, this is the reason why there's not a God. They're going to come out with some argument. But on the flip side, we're going to start seeing a lot other people saying, this is the reason why there is a God. And those are the reasons. I mean, like I said, David Pollock and Joel Klatt kind of summed up my own reasoning anyway, so you don't need to hear why I believe there's a God, which I've shared many times on here, basically. And I wanted to share all that with you because it's really sad. More than anything, it's just sad. I'm not upset at Megan Rapinoe. I don't look at her and be like, oh, how dare you? That's so mean and rude and terrible and blah, blah, blah. You're an awful person. I'm sad. I'm sad for her. I'm sad that she truly feels that way, because that's got to be a dark place to live. And I certainly wouldn't want to live in that place.